Good evening, everyone. Welcome, Terminator, issue 16 and 17, hopefully. And here's my co-host. Oh, whoops. Wrong thing, sorry.
Hello, I'm here.
Oh, hang on, how do you get it on your one? Just you.
Like that.
What,
Adrian's still learning.
Yeah, I'm still learning. Hello, lovely minis. Hello, Chris Davies. Hello, Fleetwood J. Hello, Chris Camplin. Yeah, I'm still learning with the program.
Nah, it's just a case of practice, isn't it?
Yes.
So, Adrian, what are we up to tonight then?
We're going to do it issue 16. So, hi, Chris Camplin. I think I've said hello to everyone. Right. Have you got the
everyone out there? Yeah, I've got everything ready. My end. Have you got everything ready? Your end?
Yes.
So, issue 16. We should be having. We are beginning the lower. Sorry, I'm no good with expanding view. So we're going to begin the assembly of the first lower arm. In this issue, we'll put together the first section from the right forearm and begin to connect up more components. So it looks like a fair old bit that we're going to be working on.
Guess.
So the parts we need is piece number 1, the lower arm A.
Right. I'll put it on that one. Go. Right.
Of course, if you take me off the frame, it means you can't see me eating my pot noodle.
Yeah, that's one thing.
So that's the lower arm A.
Well, I can see what you're doing, but the public can't.
Yeah.
That's plastic.
That's plastic.
Plastic.
So next is the lower arm notched ring, and that looks, from what I can see, it just looks like a washer.
Guess, but you've got little nodules there. Hang on.
So it's a washer plus nodules.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, you got little nodules there.
Right. I've not had a chance to have a look through the instructions yet. Are you going to surprise me with any modifications?
No.
Or I'm just going to leave that as a surprise?
No, I have not.
Okay. So next we've got parts 3, and that's 3 times lower arm B.
They sound plastic.
Right. Okay. So piece 4 is 3 times lower arm rubber washers. So I'm assuming they will be washers.
Yeah, they're sort of like. Yeah, 3 of those.
Lovely. Next is part 7. We've got, hang on, part 5, sorry. They're 2 PM 3 by 12 mil screws. So that's 1 screw and 1 spare.
Yes, I've already put one away.
Lovely. Then piece 6 is 4 times PB 2 by 6 mil screws. So that's 3 plus 1 spare.
Yep. I
And
lastly have 4 of those.
We have,
and lastly,
2 M3 metal spring washers. Now, I know, I'm going to just explain this for the benefit of any viewers that don't know. If you get a screw or a nut or anything that starts with an M letter, M1, M2, M3, M4, it's I think it means it's a machine screw or used for machines or machined, I can't remember. whereas the 3 is the width in millimeters. So, excuse me,
yes.
if you have an M3 screw, it means the screw thread is 3 millimeters wide. So if you have an M3 nut or an M3 washer, it means that it's designed for an M3 screw to go into. So
yes, that would be the internal measurement.
yeah. Now, there doesn't seem to be any convention on the width of the outside diameter measurement of the washer, but the inside needs to be, in this case, 3 millimeters.
Yes.
So Chris Davis is saying that you could have a good old screw. Yes, I'm sorry, your innuendos are flooding over onto your channel. We are so saturated on our channels with innuendos that you end up with them as well. Right.
Hi, Horlicks.
So, hello, Horlicks. So you will also need the upper arm joint assembled in issue 7.
Yes, that's this one.
And you will need the right forearm assembled with muscles from issue 12. Is that the springs? The part with springs
this
on?
one. Yes.
Lovely. And you will need a suitable crosshead screwdriver, i.e. not the one supplied with Terminator. I think that whinge is going all the way through to like episode 130, isn't it? They've given us screwdrivers that don't work for this build.
Correct.
Which is a shame, because if you've built any other part works or you've gone out and bought screwdrivers, then most people will then just say, well, that's not a problem. I'll use the one from this part work or that part work or this one I bought. But if this is your first ever part work, I mean, do you think it has the potential to put people off part works?
Yes. Other part works, they've always... I'm getting feedback from you, think.
Okay.
Because I'm hearing myself again.
Right. 1, 2, 3.
No, I'm hearing my voice back again. That's all.
Yeah.
Are
you still hearing it back?
No, I think it's gone now.
Right. Okay, I'm going to count to 3 and I'm going to hit the mic. I'm going to mute the mic when I get to 3 and then just see if it still happens. 1, 2, 3.
I was actually hearing from you, basically.
Right, so you're no longer hearing it then.
Testing 1, 2, 3. No, I'm not hearing myself again.
Right.
I don't know if you had it playing back on your computer or not.
No, I have, but it's on mute.
Right. Okay. Just double checking. That's all.
Okay, that's no problems. Well, I've turned my master volume down so that it doesn't play out so loud. So I will warn you in advance. I might ask you to repeat yourself quite a few times where I can't hear you.
Okay, certainly.
Right. So are we ready to build?
Just about. Let's try and get some glue. That's all.
Are you going to need glue for this?
Yes, I'm sure we do.
Okay, because it doesn't say you'll need glue. Sometimes comes in handy if you've got parts that...
Yes. Right, what I can do is just leave that draining.
Right, so best of British luck to you, Adrian.
Because the next... Right. Step 1.
So, stage 1. Right. Still too big. Right. So step 1, notched arm ring 16.2. That's the bit I said looked like a rubber washer, and you said it's got notches in it. Onto the
Yes.
base of the arm joint from issue 7. Note that there are 4 pegs on part 16.2 that fit into the sockets on the base of the joint as indicated by the arrows. Didn't you have a similar situation in an earlier part where you put notches into holes?
Yes.
Brilliant. And then step 2 says, when correctly fitted, the notched ring fits snugly into the recess in part 7.2.
Yeah. Oops. Hang on.
Don't get the wrong hole, says Chris Davies, with an LOL at the end.
Oh, you mean put it in there?
I think Chris might have been being rude there. I may be wrong.
Right. Oops, let
Paul
me in.
says there is no wrong hole. Horlicks, are you one of those any hole's a goal type people?
Well, it could have gone in there.
Yeah. Yeah, actually it could have done, couldn't it?
Because I reckon we might get one of those to go in there. Later date. Right.
Okay, so when correctly fitted, the notched ring fits snugly into the recess in part 2. And I've lost my cursor. There it is. Right, so 3, fit the lower arm A 16.1 onto the peg at the center of the arm joint. And you need to make sure that the markings on part 16.1 are correctly aligned with the part 7.2 as shown in step 4. So it looks like there's a little circle marking, and that lines up with a big long line that goes down. Sorry for the vague description, but
Well, if someone's looking in camera back to front, it could be like that.
Right.
But that is the correct way they're showing.
Right. Okay. That's nice.
Well, to be honest, it doesn't matter which way around because you find that rotates anyway.
Well, that's exactly what Chris Campling just said. These parts don't really need to line up because they will swivel. So, fair enough. So, that's end of page 1.
Yep.
5. Sorry, I'm really hopeless at this. Right. Step 5, you will
No, you have not had the most of the practice, have you?
What's that?
You have not had a lot of practice doing it.
Oh, I've had some practice, but I'm sticking to my
Yes.
guns and saying I've not had enough to be an expert yet.
Of course.
Bearing in mind that every week that I get practice, I know somebody that gets another week's practice, so I'll never catch up to them. And to be honest with you, when you're number 1, it's a lot to, it's a lot to maintain. I'd rather be number 2. So, right, step 5, you will now need the arm and muscle assembled from issue 14. Note that there is a recess in the parts from issue 14 and a raised tab on the inside of part 16.1 circled. And then step 6, in fact, actually, we'll just deal with step 5 first.
Yeah.
So after a recess from the parts from issue 14 and a raised tab on the inside
Right.
of part 16.1.
There's the raised tab.
Okay.
That's to locate into that section there.
Gotcha.
Because that's a section of the
Oh,
round of these.
yeah. It's just above your thumb.
Yes. Because you cannot put any other away until you locate that one.
So once you put it in, maybe just try to rotate it to make sure it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. The only time it will rotate is actually on those notches.
Okay. So step 6 is saying as you fit them, have a PM3 by 12 mil screw ready and an M3 spring washer.
Yep.
7. Fit the washer over the screw. Then use the screw to fix together the elements that you've just assembled. Insert it through the center of part 12.1 and into the screw socket on part 7.2. Sorry, Chris, I'm eating jelly fruits. The shop around the corner, they do little kids sweets and they're 29p a packet or 4 packets for £1. And I just think it would be really rude not to claim that discount. So I have 4 packets of sweets. But just today I have jelly fruits and toothbrushes. And I think it's really funny, actually, is making something that rots your teeth into toothbrushes, which should save your teeth. That's got to be ironic, isn't it?
Right. Here's my screwdriver. Here's the screw with already the washer on it.
Yep.
And it's got to go in that little hole in the center there. So I'm going to actually turn it upside down so I'm trying to feed it into that hole.
Well, do you know what, Adrian? By coincidence, I was thinking the exact same thing.
You would have turned it upside down.
No.
And the
Bring the
screwdriver
man
I'm using.
Muhammad rather than Muhammad to the mountain in this case.
Yes. And the screwdriver I'm using is R2D2 screwdriver.
Okay, I thought I didn't recognize it.
Well, Chris Camplin should recognize it.
Ah, I know I've seen that one before. That looks a little bit like the Millennium Falcon one as well.
Yes. Right, that's nice and tight for my happiness. And you can still twist it.
Oh, lovely.
'Cause
So
to be
now we're
honest,
beginning to build multi-positional joints.
yes.
Right.
And that is the correct way being for the arm being like that.
Chris Campling says for harder to reach places, that screwdriver is good.
Yes.
But doesn't Heineken reach the parts other bears don't? I think I'm showing my age there now, aren't I? The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain. Oh, gosh.
Right.
If anyone remembers that.
Right, we're done step 7. So
Lovely. And step 8. Oh, we still got more to do. I was kind of expecting it to finish there. Because they kind of do one little bit down. Step 8. Take the lower arm B. 16.3. So that's those 3 bits you got. And a rubber washer, 16.4, and a screw PB12 times 6 mil. Fit the washer over the screw and then fix the screw into the narrower end of 16.3. Step 9 says tighten the screw fully, but do not over tighten. The washer should still be able to rotate on the screw. That's useful to know. Repeat step 5 to assemble the part of the script instructions that's missing. To assemble the 2 additional lower arm B sections, fit them into the 3 lower arm tubes as shown in the photo below. So when they say step 5, do they mean step 8?
Could be.
I'm looking at this and thinking, right, well, we
Yes.
assemble that as per step 8. And then obviously 9's telling us more details about the screw. And then we repeat step 8 2 more times because we've got 3 of them. So let me just
So
check
it
step
could have been
5.
a printing error there.
Repeat step 5 to assemble the 2 additional lower arm B sections. So step 5 is, yeah. Sorry. Oh, come on. Right. So the only way you're repeating that step 5 is if you buy 2 additional copies of the magazine.
Yes.
Because we haven't got 3 pieces. So I would assume that that is a typo.
Yes.
When they say 8 even. So, right. The floor is all yours.
Right. I'm trying to work out which way the best way to put these on.
How do you mean?
Well, the type of washers, like one feels a lot better going on, and the other way.
Right. Well, I would imagine my first attempt would be to put the washer on the screw and then screw the screw in, possibly bringing the part down to the screw like we did in the last stage.
Yes. I'm having a closer look. It looks similar, the same, basically. I was having a look to see if it's got a deeper error than the other side.
Right. Okay. So is that a machine fault or is that just a design fault?
I don't know. It felt differently compared to one compared to the other. It depends how quality the mold is, if they're plastic sort of thing. They look both the same way, sort of thing. Right.
Oh, that's a point. Yeah. Can that be started off by hand? That's a 6mm screw. If you've got little fingers, I suppose you could, couldn't you?
Well, I'm certainly having a go.
Yeah.
That's
If
no,
you're
it
not very
seemed a bit
dexterous
awkward.
with big fat fingers, you probably want to
Yes.
use something else.
Yeah, I was certainly having a go.
So when I've been doing my 16-hour shift and my eyes aren't working, I'm probably going to have to use a screwdriver. Oh, Chris has got 17 subs on his new channel. That's really good, actually. Well, Chris, you've been going, what, a couple of weeks now? I remember when I started up Paint with Penny, and one of the guys at work, he sounded like he was going to take the mickey. And yes, I said, it's only been going about 2 or 3 months. And he went, oh, yeah. How many subscriptions have you got? And I went, well, not many, only 28. And he went, oh, that's pretty good, actually. So it kind of stopped him in his tracks. So, yeah, 17 in a few weeks. That's excellent, isn't it? And I find subscriptions is a little bit like pushing a heavy object. It's really hard to get it going, but once it's going, you've just got to add momentum to it. It's quite
Yes.
easier. All you got to do is continue the good work. And keep doing what you do. You know, the good bits, keep them up.
Yes. Sorry you can't see me really screwing it, because really hold on to it. I'm holding it down like that. And so
Yeah.
holding it like
Thing
that.
is, you got to work gravity on your side, haven't you?
Yes. I should think of.
But hopefully we'll get to see what the part looks like. So with those having washers on the end, and we've put rubber washers on the end of things before, so I presume those parts are going to go into some kind of tube and move up and down.
Yes. Actually,
I'm using very simple language.
Because you find they'll go into there. I'll just do the final one, because that's what you find we got to do the final
I
step.
think I can see the tube-like things that they're going to go into.
Yeah, these are meant to be the lower arm muscles for the thing, for the wrist.
When I'm trying to bench press 1,000 pounds, gravity is not my best friend. That's why I want to be an astronaut, so I can take a video of me bench pressing 5 people in one go. Look at how strong I am. Chris Campling says a vice might help with holding the pole in place. Yeah, or failing a vice, maybe one of those, you know, the little, I don't know what they're called, magic arm things. Like you get a magnifier and you get 2 little arms. They're used for like electrics, and you can put circuit boards in them that holds it, and then you can solder it quite easily.
Doing these up, I had to hold it quite tight.
Yeah. Oh, okay,
so
then. So a vice, wrap them in a cloth and maybe put them in a vice.
Yes. Right. All 3 of those are done.
Okay. Picture if I can find my cursor. Oh, there we go. Oh, so we are actually fit them into the 3 lower arm tubes as shown in the photo below. So see them on your desk as you were assembling them.
Yes.
And yeah, don't just make your picture a little bit bigger, Adrian, because we've got the instructions really big. Perfect. That is actually a really good view now.
So I was changing view of, because people can read the text on the screen, that's all.
Yeah. Well, we're just hoping that what you're doing is going to look like the picture that's on the right. That looks like some kind of, like something you'd see in the Matrix, you know, the bad robots that were trying to blow up the spaceship. Sort of like a robot squid laser firer thing.
Yes. So I was just doing that on that slightly tighter basis, so they all feel same stiffness sort of thing, you know.
Right. So do you think they will slide up and down easily?
I think they got to have a slight tension, you know. Because
Right.
if you think about your wrist, basically, if you got your wrist and you got weight on it, it's got to have a bit of tension on there.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, as you move those up and down, that's going to sort of, what's the expression I'm looking for? Bed it in. Do you think
Yes.
they will wear down quite quickly and become really too loose? Or do you think they'll just bed in quite nicely?
I reckon they might bed in quite nicely. It depends what the inside is made like of.
Yeah. Excellent. That looks really good. I have no idea exactly. Something to do with the arm, isn't it?
Yes.
So
It is that part there.
right. Chris Campbell's saying hopefully we'll get the Terminator gun in the next delivery. That'd be really good. You subscribe, don't you? I nearly called you Horlicks then. Adrian, you subscribe, don't you?
Yes.
So I look forward to seeing this plasma gun. What I'm interested to know is will he be able to hold the gun? And it's looking to me like you can, because with all those multi-position digits, I think you will be able to manipulate them so it can hold it just absolutely spot on.
Right.
But
I've actually looked at the magazine sometime. I've nitpicked it from the pictures they show.
right. So that is the end of that issue there.
Oh, I see what's right. So I was trying to work out what my shadow was on the map. Right.
Chris Davies says, looking really good, Adrian. And when you get the gun, make sure you don't go on a shooting spree. Oh, that was a bit of an evil laugh there, Adrian. That was
I was
almost
saying very
right. Do the next signs of the head to the top of the head. We've got a picture there of the wrist and the parts that we should have. Let me just make that smaller so I can read it. Oh, excuse me. I'm also drinking Pepsi, so I'm burping quite a lot. I do apologize. Right. So there's only 4 individual unique pieces. And we start off with the top of the head.
Right. Here we go.
It says major part. Nice. I think
that
I can
is
see
metal.
your face on that.
Oh yes.
Chris, I don't like Max, like Pepsi Max. I think it's psychological because I see no sugar, so I automatically assume it's got sweeteners in it. I don't like sweetener, so no, I don't. I have tried. Well, I've tried cherry Coke, and I do like it, but I'm more of a Pepsi fan than Coke, and I do feel I can taste the difference.
Same here. I find Pepsi Max a bit sweet to me, but Cherry Max, it takes, it hides. If you're having one certain thing, if you have something else, it hides the taste of certain things.
Yeah. A friend of mine at work brought in a bottle of mango. It's either mango Pepsi or mango Pepsi. Pepsi or cola, but it was mango flavor. And I'm like, I bet that's really sweet, but I bet that's really nice. Oh, Fanta's lovely. Right, so we've seen the top of the head. We also have 3 ball joints for the right wrist.
Yes. And these are plastic.
And I'm actually looking at those with interest, but only Horlicks knows why. The next piece is 5 by PM 2 by 4 mil screws. So that's 4 screws and 1 spare.
I think I know why as well. Right. Oh, part 3, you've got 5 of them. I've got 4 already on one side.
Right. And last but possibly not least, 4 by KB 2 by 6 mil screws, and that's 3 screws and 1 spare.
Correct.
Right.
And I've already put my spare ones away in the pot.
Lovely. Probably won't need them ever, but you never know.
Yeah, at
Right.
least
So
I
you will
put one safe if I
also,
lose one.
yes, but even if you don't lose one, you know, you probably won't need it. But then again, you might get a later episode and it's really fiddly and you lose 2 screws and you're like, not a
Yes.
problem. I'll check my spares. So you will need the right side head assembly from issue 9 and the left side head assembly from issue 15. And you will also need the hand assembly from issue 15 and a crosshead screwdriver.
Yes.
And it looks to me like there's a pattern forming. You're doing a little bit of an extremity like the hand, and then you're doing a bit of the head. Obviously, that will change once the head is complete, because I don't think you've got 90 odd episodes on the head. Right, so we got those parts ready.
Yes.
Right, so
Right. Can I be cheeky enough and say, can we jump to step 4, please?
but yes. So you want to do the ball joints first, do you?
I will do one ball joint first.
Right.
Then do step 1.
Okay.
Well, step 1, step 2, basically. Then step 4. Because what I'm going to do is I want to put a bit of glue on these.
Right. Okay. So you want to do step 4, glue it on, give it time to dry by doing step 1.
Yeah,
then do another one. Yeah, not a problem.
Yes.
Well, it's your build. You do it however you want. I'm just your assistant. Hopefully glamorous assistant, but I'll take assistant.
Certainly.
And Chris Campling says good idea. I mean, I know Adrian, Chris has done this. So if he says it's a good idea, then that's good enough for me. So
it's something at a later date when someone's put the hand on the arm, basically, and they've had a small problem with some of the joints. So I'm thinking reinforcing it.
Right. So let me have a look what step 4 is. It says take the 3 ball joints and identify the fixing points on the base of the palm of the hand.
Yes, right.
Circled in blue.
There's one. There's 2. And there's the third one. Hang on. Is that right? Yes, that's right.
So Chris is saying,
zoom in? Right.
Yeah.
Nitpick on step 4. Can you move into the hand a bit more? Right.
So I'm assuming that these have a screw hole and a locating peg.
Have a look where the thumb is. Angle the thumb. Right.
Right.
Now have a look where angle of my thumb is. That is totally different. That hand we're showing in the picture in the magazine is incorrect to the hand we got.
Right. Should be coming out, that thumb should be coming out sideways more.
Yes.
Right.
Which is correct? Our hand or the magazine?
Well, I think our hand is correct because that's how my sideways, but it's more natural to lift it up and down, which is how your thumb will go.
Yeah.
But this is
this
is an Android-y thing, whatever robot made from whatever year in the future. So I don't know. Can you reposition that thumb?
No.
Chris says there was a pin to locate.
Yes, because you've got that little pin there.
Yeah.
I'm just nitpicking the photograph, that's all.
No, it's fine. I mean, critically analysing it could be a more appropriate word.
Yes.
I mean, I totally agree with you. If that is modelled on a human, the way you've done yours is, I think, more accurate. I love Minnie says that she thinks your thumb is correct. But but I mean, I can actually move if I hold my hand in the way the magazine is done, I can do that. But I can also do it the way your hand is, and I think you're.
Yeah. Either the thumb should have had like a little twist.
Yeah.
To be more of a real hand, you need a bit of a twist there. Right. So I've popped a bit of glue around there. Now, which one I'm going to put in? And if someone's actually wondering, did I re-screw these before? Yes, I did. Because basically, by doing that up tight, bit of glue there, it'll hold. Hopefully, the glue will hold that bit more on when we click it onto the arm. That's my idea.
Right.
Right. I have done one of those. So let's do the proper step for a moment. Because I want to do one at a time, let it set basically until I start fiddling around with the next one.
Okay.
Right.
So you try and scroll this out there, don't you?
Yeah, step one.
So take the right side head assembly from issue 9 and check how it fits into the top of the head 17.1. So I'm suspecting here that you can't put that on the wrong way.
Well, here you go. I've actually got left. Because it says left in there.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and put it in place, and they will not line up.
All right.
So,
I mean, the thing is, if you put them on the wrong way anyway, you're going to have the detail on the inside, which is obviously not right.
yeah, well, if you put them on like that, that'll be incorrect.
Apart from the fact that it looks absolutely stupid.
Yes.
Right.
And they're both marked, which is left or right.
So basically, a blind person could tell which way round these go.
Yes, by feeling, yes.
Brilliant. Okay, so you happy with that fit?
Yes.
And what's the gappage like?
A gap along the top. I think that looks.
I'm actually trying to be rather critical of this.
Yes. To me, when you don't know until you start doing the screws up and when it's got all tight.
Yeah. Okay.
It looks
right. So step 2 is fix the right side of the head to the right side of the top of the head 17.1, using the 2PM 2x4mm screws. That's pretty straightforward then, isn't it?
Yes.
And there's a picture of what it looks like then.
Right, I've got one started. I'm going to do the other one. There's no point doing one tight and the other hole might not line up. Of course, when you're doing the last screw, if you've got a set of 4, you can always do the last screw up because it's all positioned right. And then go on to the first one. Right. That's nicely done. And that looks perfect.
Brilliant.
Right.
So you want to go back to step 4 now and do the next one of those ball joints?
Yes. I'm just... Yes. So I was just inspecting it, basically. See how well the glue's gone around there. Did you have a nice day at work or did you have an awkward day at work?
It's quite a funny day at work, actually. It's been very, very busy. Hang on. Yeah, basically, it was quite funny that my boss, what they do is they kind of plan out the work. So you're going to have a rough plan, but obviously, as everything, that's always going to be subject to change. And I was expecting to have to go to Cardiff today, and my duty got changed. I ended up going to Chepstow. And my man just said to me, I said, "Oh, what am I doing now?" I've done about four hours driving, and I was expecting to say go and have a break. So Cardiff or come round or something. So I said no, and he said, "Why not?" I said, "Well, that'll put me over my hours." I said, "That'll be about it'll be over 5.5 hours driving." So I said, "No," I said, I really think that's going to put me over. So he goes, I'll abbreviate slightly what he said, but he went something along the lines of "F off, just go home then." To call people's bluff. So I go, "All right then." So I went back into the canteen to get my bits and bobs, and I saw another driver. He says, "Where you going?" I said, "I'm going home." He went, "No, you're not." I said, "Yeah, honestly, I am." I said, "I've been sent home." So he goes, "No," I said, "Honestly, I'm going home. I wouldn't kid you." I said, I've been sent off. I think I've upset him. Well, then the manager comes back and he goes, oh, actually, Penny, can you do this run instead? As a little 45-minute run. So I said, yeah, no problems, because it wasn't within, what was within 5.5 hours. So when I finished the run, it's funny because I said, oh, but he'd end up giving me another one of those. And I went back to see him and we were having a bit of a laugh about it. What was it I said? I walk in the office, I go, all right, snot pot. And he goes, yeah, things are calming down a bit now. And we were sort of talking and he worked out the hours I actually drove. And he says, I do apologize. You would actually have been over your legal driving hours. I said, that's all right. I said, I got no problems with a man who can make a mistake and then admit his fault. So I said, say no more about it. And then he says, can you do another one of those little runs? I went, yeah, that's fine. I said, that's about 5.5 hours driving. So I went and did this little run. And I come back and I go, what do you need me to do now? And he goes, I need to do a number 6. And I went, no. He goes, what? I said, I'm over me hours. I said, you can't replace an hour and 40 minutes with 2 45 minutes and another hour. I said, that don't add up. And he's like, oh, yeah. I said, I'm going to be honest with you. I said, I'm going to call you an idiot. I said, because if you hadn't given me that second little run, that would have been a 30-minute break. That would have reset my hours. And I would have then been able to do that hour run. But as it happens, I got away a little bit earlier and I went down to Parcel Force to pick up a parcel that my courier couldn't be bothered to deliver. And that one I'm because I've ordered a parcel from Screwfix. Parcel Force have tried to deliver. Well,
Right.
they say.
Can we go back to step 2, by the way?
I'm off and away, aren't I?
Yep.
Right. So step 2 is to fix the right side of the head to the right side of the top of the head using 2 PM 2x4mm screws.
So step 3 then meant to be.
Step 3. I can guess what step 3 is. Fit the left side of the head assembled in issue 15 to the left side of the top of the head in 17.1 and fix in place using 2 PM 2x4mm screws. Are they the same screws? Yeah.
Get previous, yes.
So that should give you 3 sides of the head.
Yes. Another thing, I've done the instructions this way because it breaks being slightly different to everyone else.
No, that's fine. Like a lot of people say, and I agree with this as well. It's your build, you do it your way.
Yeah.
I think you have a good approach to your build style. Otherwise, I wouldn't want to get involved with you. So I trust what you do. And obviously, like, if it does go wrong, well, you can live with those consequences, can't you?
Yes. This is my build. It's my choice how I do it. At the end of the day. If I want to drill a hole in the middle of the head, I can drill a hole in the middle of the head.
Exactly. If you want to smash it with a hammer, you can.
Yes. Like, as I'm building the bus, I could actually choose a different colour of it. I could paint it pink if I wanted to.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's the design of these builds basically build it or change them up the way you want to build it. They're giving you a template, basically do a standard template or change it how you like to. Right, that is done. That is assembled. That is the front of the head. And that is the rear of the head. Right. Got step 4 there. And let's do the last one.
Sorry, I'm just playing with some parts.
What are you playing around with then?
Oh, I can't tell you. If I told you, I'd have to kill you.
All right. Oh, don't forget. Oh, was it a test drive for Saturday night or something?
It's test drive for a Saturday night.
Right. Without giving the game away, I can guess about it.
You can guess all you like.
Yes, but I might know, but I'm not going to tell it on air.
Well, you might know, but I got a feeling you don't. Because believe me, Adrian, we do keep secrets from you two.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Right, how are we getting on, Adrian?
That is done. So step 5 should be showing a complete symbol. Well, actually,
Let's have a look. Oh, step 5 is on
I
the
think
next
we've
page.
done. I think we've done step 5 and step 6 without reading them.
Do you think?
Hmm.
Well, that's very naughty if we haven't. So, fit the 3 ball
Yes.
joints into the recess of the palm of the hand. And then we're going to
Yes,
fix
which I've done
each
each
of the
one.
3
Yeah.
balls using KB 2x6mm screws. You may find it helpful to carefully hold the ball joints in place with pliers while fitting the screws. Oh, love minis, that's a terrible joke. Why don't eggs tell jokes? They'd crack each other up.
Right. Let's go back to that one. As you can see, the 3 ball joints there. And we got the 1 screw there, 1 screw there, and the final one there. And please note, the thumb is a different angle to my one.
Well, it's their model. They can make it however they want.
Yes.
You like that?
It could have been the first model and realised, oh, hang on. There's a note, we need to reposition it to...
Yeah. I mean, it might have
Definitely.
something to do with the plasma gun, because when this first was advertised as being released, the last free gift was going to be a police car. Then they actually released it, and that free gift changed to a plasma gun. So I would suspect all the research for this was done before they thought about giving a plasma gun. However, the plasma gun may have been designed to fit the hand, not the other way round.
Yes.
So there's a discussion point for you.
Yeah. We'll soon find out. Have we got a correct hand or have we got a mistake hand?
Yeah.
When they displayed the model, they didn't display the model holding the gun. It depends how well it was built. You know, it could have been built by non-experts putting the model together.
personally would prefer, because if it's being built by an expert and it looks really, really spot on, you're like, well, I can't copy that. Whereas if it was built by a useless idiot, then I'd go, yeah, I could do that.
Guess.
So how close are we getting the screws in?
Well, I've got screws in. It's all done.
Do you know, I must have missed that. I wasn't playing with other things, honestly. I've completely lost my cursor. I can't. There it is. Right, found it. I have two screens, so if it's not on one screen, it's on the other. Right. Oh, expert tip. It is easier to position the screws if you have a magnetic screwdriver to pick up the screws. If your screwdriver is not magnetic, draw it across a magnet in one direction, as indicated by the arrow, to induce magnetism. Well, nice tip after we've done it. So, stage complete.
Yes.
Skull is taking shape. The ball joints have been added to the palm of the hand. So, are they strong now then? And how strong do you think they'd be without the glue?
I've sort of like reinforced it, sort of thing.
Right. Okay. So it may well be that you didn't need to glue them, but if you didn't need the glue, it'll definitely be. If it's strong enough without the glue, it'll definitely be strong enough with it.
Yeah, I think someone ended up stripping one of the holes threads, and they
Right.
can't do it up tightly. That's why
Because
I decided to glue it.
plastic.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
That's
So
why I
Chris
decided to glue it as well.
Chris Campbell is. Do you want to do the next? He's asking us to put the head together or try the head together. I would suggest we do next week.
Yes.
Oh.
Here we go.
Oh, I'm going to share the eye motor in the casing of the head. Does anybody not know what that blue part is and what it does? Love minis, you don't count because we know you know. So that blue bit is actually, that's it. Yeah, that blue bit is a servo, and the difference between a servo and a motor is that the servo will only go 180 degrees from start to finish. So it basically goes backwards and forwards, whereas a DC motor will go round and round and round. And if you want it to go the opposite way round, you need to reverse the power. But this will only go backwards and forwards. There is another motor, and I can't remember what it's called. But for now, we'll just stick with DC motors and servos. So what's obviously going to happen, there'll be a bar that will attach the eyes, and one end of the bar will be attached to the servo. And if you want the Terminator to look left, the servo, it'll start off in the middle position. Step motor, of course, it's a step motor. Step motor is very, very similar to a DC motor, but it's the output is very similar to a DC motor, but its process is different. But we don't need to go into that today anyway. So basically, when I say that this servo will rotate 180 degrees, it will basically go from minus 90 degrees to 90 degrees. And 90 degrees to minus 90 degrees. So its starting position will be 0, or wherever you put. Well, the servo thinks it's 0, but obviously you've got a little arm that you can reposition. So it will start in 0. If you want the Terminator to look left, it will move, for example, to minus 90. And then if you want it to look right, it will move to 90 degrees. And obviously you can move it backwards and forwards. So maybe you want to move it to minus 37 degrees. And because you'll have a bar across the top, they will move together.
Yes.
So, oh, it's going to be used for the jaw. Then I apologize. Then I was assuming the eyes. So if it's going to be used for the jaw, then obviously,
this one's
for
to be used for the
example,
eyes. This
pardon?
one is the eyes. This
Okay,
one
if
is
it's the
the
eyes,
eyes.
then as I said, if it's the jaw, oh yeah, it does. It says secure the eye motor. So that's basically how they're going to work for the eyes. The
Yes.
stepper motor is for the jaw. Okay, well, look, I'll save the explanation of a stepper motor for another episode, which means if you really desperately want to know, you've either got to watch a future episode or Google it.
Yes. Have you
So,
downloaded issue 18 at all?
no, I like the surprise. I
Right.
find,
Okay.
I mean, obviously, when I do my own builds, I like to just jump in, and that's the first time I've ever seen it. To be honest with you, watching you build this, never having, I mean, I read these I downloaded the instructions about 8:20 this evening, and this is the first time I've seen them. And that's enabling me to just ramp up the enjoyment of the build because I really have no idea what's coming next.
Yes.
Which makes it very exciting. Not saying it's not exciting without knowing, if I knew, but just makes it a little bit more. So, Chris Campling has asked us to fit the head together. Are you able to oblige on that?
What, hold it together, sort of? No. Doing step 18, yes, that would have hold it together. If I'd done step
Right.
18.
Okay.
Because
So
at
I'm
the
quite
moment,
looking forward to next week now, because I don't know. Will you be in a position to test that motor? Or would you like me to set up something so that I can demonstrate a servo?
this is a 3-wire connection, and
Yeah,
I have no function testing.
that's
We
not a
have no
problem.
function wise testing
What
it.
I will do then is I will try to arrange something. In fact, actually, I'm going to ask somebody who might be able to help. Love Minis. Would you be able to design me a schematic so that I can? No, I'll tell you what, I won't be able to follow it. I will find. Oh, correction needed. Where did that come from?
Right. This came in issue 18. Oops, hang on. As tail ender, I was going to actually do this one today. Right. Hang on.
Right. This is where I've heard the expression the eye modification, is it?
Yes, an error basically wise. Hang on. Yeah, so
Right.
no.
Okay, well, do you want to do that? You're more than welcome to.
Yeah. Here I'm trying. Right. Okay.
So what is it, basically turning the eyes round, is it?
Yes. Right. The error we had is we have assembled the eye section as error in step issue 1.
Right. Which means that I've done it
Here we
wrong
go.
because
Yeah.
I did issue 1, didn't I? On video.
Yes. Yes. Right. As you can see here, there's the 2 screws. If you have a look there, there's a silver pin going upwards.
Yes. You've got
Right,
2 in one direction
no.
and 1 in the other, haven't you?
Nope, that is actually showing the pin actually going down at the moment.
Right. So let me find my eyes. I can see that my pin is actually so step 1 is how they are. Right, okay. So that looks like a very easy modification. That looks like removing 2 screws, turning them around and screwing them back in again. Right.
Correct.
So the servo arm needs to go above the eyes, not below.
Correct, yes.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, I can see that the holder for the eyes, pins, one top and one bottom, And as mine stands at the moment, on the rear end, there's one pin facing down. But what we need to do is turn them around so it's facing up. Now, the two pins at the front, they act as a pivot point. So it won't actually matter which way round they are.
No.
Okay, so the show is all yours then, Adrian.
So I'm going. Oh, get in there. Right, I'm going to see if we can, instead of taking them all out, all the way out. Let's see.
Hi, Dave Mill. How are you?
Well,
I don't know if you've just joined us, Dave, but we've done the 2 episodes. And what we're doing now is we've got a correction. It turns out that in the episode 1, we actually put the eyes on upside down. Their mistake, not ours.
right. They have realised the mistake, and that you now.
Yeah. And things are getting serious because Adrian's using a cocktail stick.
No, I'm not using cocktail sticks.
Oh, I thought you were using
Tweezers.
a cocktail stick. Tweezers. Ah, things are getting very serious then.
Tweezers. Because I don't want to try and take it all apart, you know, it's pretty trying, originally putting it together. Of course, previously it was nice and easy because doing it originally because you didn't have the bottom teeth on.
Yeah.
Right. Right, I think I've got that done. Yeah, they seem in the groove correctly. There you go. Right, because then with this black piece here, because it will go that way up on those 2 nodules. Yeah, I thought it was weird how it was going to do originally.
Yeah, I mean, thinking about it now, it looks like it's going to be tight for space. I can kind of see it now.
Yeah.
But I know with other builds, you know, I've got to stages where I've thought, I really can't see how that's going to work. And then somehow it does.
Yes.
especially Hachette builds. And they just don't seem to have too much logic. And then all of a sudden you're like, wow, brilliant.
Right. Hang on, let me just change. So I'm just changing my other screen. I'm not showing everything else on my computer.
No, that's fine. It was just, if I was doing something embarrassing, I'd be like, oh. And my arms behind my back, behind my head. I'll shed some light on the subject. Ba-dang!
Sorry,
I'll see if I can entertain you with some funny jokes.
Here we go. That's what he looks like now. We're completely stayed now. Full screen. Right. Now I'm happy with that. That's ready for, so I don't have to do it for the next step. Right. Back on both of us. Correction. Yeah, so Chris Camden, I'll actually assemble the head a bit more next time when I got the top jaw onto the bottom jaw. I don't like juggling too many pieces in my hand.
Oh, here you go. It's a good joke. It's more related to Wednesday. Two women in a bus fighting bitterly over the last available seat. The conductor had already tried unsuccessfully to intervene when the bus driver shouted at the conductor, "Let the ugly one take the seat." Both women stood for the rest of the journey.
So both decided to stand instead.
So I like that issue, or those two issues. Probably I might even go as far as saying that they're possibly some of my favorites so far. Would you agree?
Yes.
I mean, I wasn't overly thrilled with the little ball joints that you felt you had to glue on, but in all fairness, that looks more like preparation for something else. But
yes, it's like I decided to do it myself.
Yeah,
because I've actually seen someone else might have problems later
the overall outcome on those three parts is that you've just added three knobbly bits. But as I say, I suspect that they are preparation for something else. Together, and this is sadly the case. Sometimes you have to do not an awful lot, but that provides the platform for something much bigger. But yeah, we get that in all models, don't we?
Yes.
But overall, I'd say really good couple of episodes there. It'll almost be a shame when we catch up, because having the two episodes together, or two issues, I mean, I don't think either of these issues were dull. But if you got a more dull issue, or slightly less interesting, you've got the other one to sort of average it out. So we know we will have some slow issues, and we will just have to bear with it. But like I say, like those three little balls, all you did in that issue, then I mean, to be honest with you, that issue, although I liked it because 3 ball joints and 2 pieces of a head, and you still haven't put the head together, I suppose some could say that was dull, but it's added a lot to it, hasn't it? The detail on the head is really nice.
Yes,
So,
like you find like on the root master, you get only a couple of screws to do, and other times you get a lot of screws to do.
well, a good example is the latest couple of issues. All we actually got was a few wires, which is next to nothing really. But the impact of having those wires is like, wow, things are working now. And then you'll get that point on this one. Just going back to what I was saying about the servos, what I'll do for next week, if I'm a little circuit board and a little breadboard, and I'll have a little servo on, and I'll put probably a potentiometer or something, and then I'll be able to demonstrate how the servo works. So it'll just basically it'll start in that position, and then it'll move to there. But that it won't do a full circle. That's not how servos work. It's basically left and right. So yeah, and then hopefully then we'll see how the servo works. I don't know if you'll have a chance to test it. So I might have a little play if I get some time during the week. I'll have a little play with some servos and I'll see what we can do. These are quite expensive, these servos, though. Myself and Horlicks were looking at some the other day, and they are, and that was cheap. That was from like Banggood. So you're getting, some people might look at that and go, well, you don't get many parts. Well, actually, you're getting a major part with it. It's like with the bus when we got like one piece, but it's a great big piece of metal like this. You can't expect more because it's obviously an expensive part. But I don't know what that black bit, I suppose, is a mount, is it? To mount the servo onto.
Yes.
And then obviously you've got the screws to screw. I presume that's going to screw the servo onto the servo mount, and then you've got to screw the servo mount into the head somewhere.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to that. And the only thing I'm looking forward to more is seeing it actually work. So once those eyes are moving backwards and forwards, that is going to be good fun. So, and I'm still interested. I'm still interested to know how those wires are going to plug in. Are they going to plug into an extension lead that will trail all the way down, or will there be a circuit board in the head? I can't see a circuit board coming in the head because I can't see where they'll fit it. So I'm guessing maybe there will be an extension cable will run through maybe the middle of the spine, and it'll come out somewhere.
On the head, you got you got an extra 4 sections. There might be one of them hidden by cables going down from the head down to the body.
You see, we've still got a stepper motor to come into the. I think Chris said there's a stepper motor coming in to do the jaw.
Yes.
So you've got the stepper motors that I've dealt with, they're not small. So that's probably going to take up quite a lot of room. And there'll obviously be some kind of coupling, and then some kind of rod or something comes out of it, which will kind of, you already know, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, because you've already got your issues.
Yeah, I know all the secrets up to issue 24.
Yeah, I'm playing speculation, and Adrian's going, no, that's wrong because it's not in the magazine. So, yeah, I'm really intrigued. As someone that hasn't seen beyond this current issue, I'm really intrigued to see how that will pan out. So, yeah, there's a bit of excitement brewing for me. So, yeah, I'm hooked. So, I've got to stick around for at least a few more issues now, haven't I?
Yes.
Otherwise, I'll miss out. So I'd be interested to know what everyone else thought of this week's build. Have we convinced anyone to buy it that didn't have it before? Because see, I suppose I'm lucky that being involved with this build with you, it's the next best thing to building it. I'm not convinced to buy it because of my finances, but there is a little part of me going, oh yeah, I wish I'd continued with it. But then I had that row with Hachette, and I'm sorry, right? I'm going to stick to my. You might say I'm cutting my nose off to spite my face, but I'm sticking to my guns. You don't shout at me and get away with it.
Yeah.
So, right, we know what we're doing next week. So is there anything else you need to bring up, Adrian?
No, hopefully I'll do another 2 issues next week. Gradually,
Yeah.
it depends. It depends how quickly they go and what time we start.
Right. Yes. Well, hopefully, we've started 8:30 today because yesterday a late one. Now, my definition of a late one is getting home at 8 o'clock. So I could get home at 8. Luckily he did, because what work's definition of a late one is anything over 12 hours, and I was 6:30 spare today, so they asked me to stay till 7. I did actually get away a little bit early. However, I had a bit of an issue with some deliveries. Yeah, I was actually saying, wasn't I? I ended up having to go to Parcel Force to collect my parcel from Screwfix. Now, Screwfix are actually on the same industrial estate as Parcel Force. I was gone onto the industrial estate yesterday and gone into Screwfix and picked up the item myself, and we'd have cut out the middleman. But I was just a bit. The last time I had a Parcel Force delivery, we had an absolutely useless parcel delivery guy. I had to explain to him what a garden was, and this is a guy who's English, and it turns out it's still him. But what's happened is he has been moved on rounds because he's been generating so many complaints, and they put him on a different round, and he's generated complaints, and so they put him on a different round, and he's generated complaints, and then what they've ended up doing is putting him back on the original route, because that's the route where he generates the least number of complaints. So, as I said to Adrian before the show, if someone is generating that many complaints, personally, the only route I would put them on is the one on the way to the dull queue, because maybe he's just not cut out to be a courier driver. But as an ex-courier driver, I love hourly pay, because if you have a bad day, you're still receiving money. But when you're self-employed, you only get paid if you deliver the parcel. So you have the incentive to get rid of the parcel. Now, I know companies like Yodel, they pay less. So this is why they have a reputation of courier drivers slinging parcels over the fence. It's so that they get rid of it, so they get paid. Parcel Force, I'm told, they're paid by the hour. So it really doesn't matter to him if he doesn't deliver any parcels, which is why they have a big queue of people going in and moaning. So, but I know I won't say that actually, but yeah, there was another guy in there complaining, and I was talking to him, and I said, I'm upset because I've been home. They claim to have left a card, and there was no card left. So if the courier doesn't leave a card, it's to do the delivery, because if he has turned up, he can shove a card through the door. And he's gone, yeah, I've had exactly the same thing. So, yeah, anyway, I shall complain and waffle no more. Dave says he's not criticising the build, but it's just not his thing. Yeah, I agree. I've got to pick on the builds that are more significant for me. Robots are great, but I wasn't as much into Terminator as I was, say, Star Wars or Star Trek and things like that. And obviously with my 3D print projects, that's kind of grabbing me a little bit more. And it's also a case of what the project does. I'm really happy that my number one build is the Route Master, because it's now starting to do a few things that I wasn't expecting it to do.
Yeah,
Parcel Force, they aren't the post office, but they're part of the same group of the post office. So I don't know, maybe they've just been doing it for so long, because once upon a time it was the post, there was no other couriers were there, and then as things have changed, they've allowed other companies to come in and do things, and I just think their methods, and maybe their methods are outdated. It's things like they're not supposed to leave parcels safe, even if the customer requests it. Well, here's a quirky little thing. You deliver while most people are out to work, earning the money to buy the parcels for you to deliver. So, Chris Davies, he's getting a new webcam. Hopefully it's going to be here by Tuesday. When he does his next does his next build, and he's also, so if anyone's got an interest in classic cars, because basically Chris has asked me to co-host, and I'm more than happy to, but I do 2 live shows of my own. I now co-host with Adrian, and to do a 4th one, I'm worried I might be taking on too much. So I've said I'll definitely do it once a month. So there you go. There's my toothbrush.
I have all Horlicks as well, basically. So
yeah,
it's broken up between you two, sort of thing. So,
well, the thing is, the problem with your stream, it's been down to me, and I feel awful about that. So that's why it's a good idea to get Horlicks or anyone else that can help.
yes.
So, but I'll help anyone that I can. I'll certainly help new startups. Because I like watching YouTube channels grow. I can't wait for people like you, Adrian, and Chris Davies, when you're sitting there on 15,000 subs. And I can look back and go, do you know what? I remember when he had 5 subs and his channel was nowhere near as good as it is now. That's the days I'm looking forward to. So, yeah. You look like you're trimming your fingernails there, Adrian.
No, I was just doing something. I was just checking the chat sort of thing on my phone.
Yeah. So this is the second time you've used StreamYard now, isn't it? Did you use it last week?
Yes, I was the first person out of all us to try and use it.
Yes, that's right, because it was a week yesterday.
Yes,
maybe
I
even
sent
a
you
week.
an SOS.
Yeah. Oh God. And it was like we were up until about 4 a.m. sorting it out. Because I remember you saying to you, "No, you've done that wrong, Adrian. Start again from the beginning." And it turned out you actually hadn't done anything wrong. It was just where they didn't support Google Hangout anymore. And yeah. Do you want to repeat some of the things that I said? Bearing in mind it is 10 o'clock. Probably too rude for 10 o'clock. But I think you learned a couple of new words that morning, didn't you, Adrian?
I think so, yes.
So, but yeah, we got it figured out. And obviously, you were the next ones of us to stream. Because last Saturday I didn't stream, did I? Because I was on late.
Yeah.
So, really looking forward to streaming again. You have 1 week off and then you think, oh, yeah, 1 week's not a problem. It's fine. and yeah, and you're like, oh. And for me, the biggest thing was the Routemaster build, because that build looked really good. And I'm like, you're sitting on a magazine that you can't build because you're saving it for another stream. And when I finally managed to get it done Wednesday, I'm like, yeah, I've been looking at this magazine for over a week and I can't touch it. Yeah, I think F was one of the most popular letters.
Yeah, it's like, here we go. Sit on a part.
Yeah, but I'm fine with that, because that one's due to be done this Wednesday. And to
Yes.
be honest with you, I tend to build on stream with the magazines that I get from the news agents. Most of the subscription issues, they go in a big box, and I just chuck them in the box. If WH Smith hasn't got the copy in, then I'll dig in the box and get the subscription one. But generally, I don't even look at them. So I know what's in there, but I can guess what we'll do with it, but I'm not bothered because we haven't got that far yet. But when you're sitting on a magazine that should have been completed last week, that's a bit more difficult. But how good were Adrian and co on that show last Wednesday? They were
I'm glad
brilliant.
we've done as best as we could.
Listen, I couldn't have asked for more. I thought, oh, people are saying 78 have a problem. Okay, is that the... We haven't got... Hang on.
No, that's the bit I showed you is 78.
Ah, right, okay. Right, well, we will find out on Wednesday then, won't we?
Yes, same time I do
If
mine.
it's a design fault or if it's a problem with individual pieces. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, I loved Chris Davies' choice of words. It was awesome when Penny did a late shift Wednesday. In other words, it almost comes across as, yeah, we don't want you, Penny. The other four was so good. No, I really did. It was nice, actually. I came home from work. I had a couple of difficult runs last week. You know, I did try and pop on when I could. But basically, I came home from work. I jumped into bed with my cup of coffee and a biscuit or whatever I had. And I watched the stream. And I really, I laughed. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, it was brilliant. And I felt like I was watching a panel of real experts. And, you know, they all knew their stuff. And it was, I really did enjoy that. So I probably might even go as far as saying I enjoyed it as much as I do hosting a show normally. But I also felt I was able to give a little bit more the Wednesday just gone, because I had the desire. I know what you think of me, Chris, really.
Right.
You know, absence makes the heart grow fonder. Anyway, Adrian is writing me.
Right, I think it's gone 10 o'clock. I think we've about done an hour and a half.
Okay, yeah.
Because have you got an early start in the morning?
I have got an early start in the morning, and I actually got up late this morning. I think I actually didn't turn my alarm on. I set the times. So I am doubly keen to get into work on time tomorrow, because being late 2 days running probably isn't the best idea ever. But so yeah, okay. So I will let you do whatever you want with the show, Adrian.
Right, I'd like to end the show. We'll issue 18 next week. And hopefully issue 19 if I got that order correct. And we'll see you next week. It's good night from me, and it's good night from
Penny. So take care, guys. I'm looking forward to next week. I think it's going to be a good one. And like I say, I'll get the servo set up, so we'll have a little demonstration of what should happen. But yeah, so thank you for having me, Adrian. I really appreciate it, and I will see you
Certainly.
all next time.